Trudeau's the worst manager in history of Canada. I've said that countless times. It's the end game now. It's very
Let's get straight to the point. With Justin Trudeau at the helm, it feels like we're on a raft, adrift without oars, and with a captain who lost his compass long ago. The Canadian economy, once vibrant and attractive for global investment, now looks like a shop closed by reforms that never end. Innovation, growth, empty words in the speeches of a leader who promised a lot but delivered little. Trudeau's policy on taxes and regulations has been like a ballast tied to the feet of Canadian businessmen. And what about that famous carbon tax? One more patch on a suit that is already frayed. Instead of pushing for progress, we find ourselves asking permission to move forward, hoping that one day the government will decide to let go of the reins. Meanwhile, the international scenario is no less worrying. Relations with key countries such as India and the United States, which should be one of cooperation and mutual respect, are now tinged with tensions and disagreements. It seems that each step in Trudeau's foreign policy is just another stumble, a spilled coffee on the suit of an important guest. And our national identity? That is fading, like the respect that once commanded the Canadian passport. Now, mentioning that you are Canadian abroad can be a reason for sympathy and not respect. It's time for a change, for a new direction that truly understands the needs of a modern Canada and doesn't just pose for the photo while the country needs urgent action. It's time to say goodbye to the disaster captain and find someone who really knows how to sail. We are at a critical point where every decision counts. But it seems that every decision made has been one more misstep towards the abyss. Trudeau's tenure has not only slowed our economy, but has put Canada on a slow lane as the world moves at cruising speed. How is it possible that a country with such vast resources is now in a race for the bottom? Investors are looking to other horizons because here, under Trudeau's policies, they face a labyrinth of procedures and tax burdens that discourage entrepreneurship. The promise was of a prosperous Canada and a leader in innovation, but the reality is a country that is increasingly closed to business. Trudeau seems more interested in being the friendly face at international summits than in being the decisive leader Canadians need. This is the time to raise our voices, to demand leadership that not only understands economics, but also respects Canada's position in the world. We cannot allow more years of setbacks and missed opportunities. Canada needs a leader who is not just thinking about the next election cycle, but about the next generations. So yes, it's the endgame for this style of management, where the only trophy Trudeau seems to be looking for is that of popularity, while the country cries out for real change. The question for us as Canadians is clear. Will we continue down this path of uncertainty and decline, or will we choose a new course that truly realizes our potential? It's time to decide what kind of Canada we want. It is a call to action, an awakening for all those who see how our country, with so much potential, slides towards mediocrity. Are we going to continue to tolerate decisions that cost us dearly, not only in dollars, but in our global position? Trudeau's policies, with his half-hearted approach to climate change, energy, and technology, have placed us in a position of weakness, not strength. And make no mistake, the world is waiting for no one. While Canada is entangled in bureaucracy, other countries are seizing opportunities, forging alliances, moving forward with bold policies that really spur innovation and growth. We are in a global race, but our leadership seems more interested in posing for the international gallery than in ensuring that Canada leads in the critical sectors of tomorrow. We need a policy that is more than a set of restrictions. We need policies that empower, that give Canadians the tools to build and thrive. Economic management is not only about keeping the books in order. It is to encourage those who can turn a page into a brilliant chapter for our economy.
I'm happy to put a goat in Parliament, and we just listen to that goat nay, yes or no. It's better than what we have right now. Trudeau has killed Canada.
Change is imperative, and it is not just about changing the face of leadership, but about embracing a whole new vision. A vision that understands that without a strong economic base, There is no social welfare without investment. There is no innovation, and without international respect, there is no global influence. It is time to say enough to complacency, to content with the minimum. Canada is not a country of minimums, it is a country of maximums, and we deserve policies and leaders that take us to the height of our capabilities. No more excuses, no more superficial policies. We need and demand a government that not only manages the day-to-day, but forges a promising, vigorous, and globally respected future. Are you ready to be part of this change? Because Canada's future is in our hands, and that future needs to start now. So, what are we waiting for? It's time to take back the helm and steer this great ship into more promising waters. The current situation is not an inescapable destiny. It is a detour, a mistake on the map that we can correct with the right leadership and a clear vision. Canada must not just be a participant on the world stage, but a leader, an innovator, a trendsetter that others seek to imitate. The weariness of the Canadian people is palpable. It is not only frustration with failed policies, it is a sense of loss, of what could have been and still is not. Trust in our government must be restored, and that can only be achieved with a fundamental change in how our domestic policies and diplomacy are approached. We need a government that not only responds to crises, but prevents them, that not only reacts to the market, but shapes it, not only to keep pace, but to set it. A government that looks beyond the next election cycle and looks ahead to the next decade, anticipating challenges and preparing our nation to overcome them. The call to action is now, not tomorrow, not after the next elections, but now. Canadians deserve more than empty promises and slow reaction policies. We deserve leadership that inspires, that transforms, that acts with the audacity and urgency that the times demand. It is time to renew our commitment to progress, to prosperity, and to a Canada that not only survives, but thrives, that not only competes, but leads, that not only promises, but delivers. With every vote, with every voice, with every action, we have the power to reshape our destiny. We are going to stand up, to demand change, to be the architects of a better future. Because if we don't do it, who will? And if not now, when? Change starts here, starts now, and starts with us. This is our moment to define what kind of country we want to be. Let's not miss this opportunity. Canada is ready for a new chapter. Let's write it together. Now is the time to clear the fog of complacency and meet challenges with new energy. We cannot afford any more excuses or delays. History will judge us by the actions we take today, not by the intentions we had. It is in our hands to demand and effect change that not only corrects past wrongs, but also sets a bold course for the future. Do we want to continue to be spectators in our own history, or will we be the authors of a new legacy of prosperity and global respect? The choice is clear. Canada's potential is immense, full of natural resources, human talent, and technological opportunities that, if managed correctly, can put us at the forefront of the global economy. It is time to reject the policies that lock us into a cycle of mediocrity. It is time to reject the fearful and uninspiring management that has characterized our current leadership. We must choose a path that leads us to real prosperity, where every citizen can feel the positive impact of a government that genuinely works for the people.